Alright everybody, welcome back to a WV Guns and Goats video, and today we are looking at one of the rarest parts kits in the United States. Inside of this tub right here is a Israeli Tavor X95 parts kit with a couple very hard parts to get in the United States. Now there's about 20 of these parts kits that actually exist in the US now, and I believe there were still a few of those in stock as of the recording of this video. Now, nothing in this video is actually for sale by me, so we're going to go over the parts in here first. We'll start with, we've got a all steel 30 round magazine. Now, it's not marked Elander or anything else, but I highly suspect that it's made by them. All steel construction. They're one of the few companies that does that. So next we'll take a look at some of the cut-up pieces. There is the gas cylinder. Let's see here. We've got one of the receiver pieces. Another one. Another one. And another one there. We have another piece of the barrel right here, and yet another piece, the chamber end right there. So those are all cut up due to ATF import regulations. So we'll move them out of the way. Alright, next we have the bolt carrier group. Now, one way that this differs from the US semi-auto bolt carrier group is these two trips down here for the auto sear. There's one on each side. I believe these can be ground off if they were to be used in a semi-automatic Tavor. It has the dual ejectors. Now, the next part we have the pistol grip. Now, the first part that's different is that the Israeli X95 has dual charging handles. Have another part of the gun there. I'm just not sure what it is. It's some kind of, I think it's a liner that the barrel passes through. Some kind of spacer. We have the fire control group cover / bolt release. That little guy that fell out of there, that's actually the 45-degree safeties, one on each side. We have some ejection port cover pieces right here. We'll move some of these parts out of the way because we're getting to some of the bigger parts. Now, I've been waiting for one of these parts kits to become available for quite a long time. And when they came up available for sale, well, I decided to jump on it and get one of those. And I'll show you why here in a little bit. Now, this is interesting. This is the Israeli Fire Control Group. This is the auto part right there. However, on a US part, this area right in here is cut out, and there's a blocking bar in the US receiver shell that prevents installation of one of these trigger packs. Let's see, we've got a trigger. The next part here that is different for the X95 is we have the barrel sling mount, the flash hider lock, and the flash hider. The flash hider actually has a ring around it, and that might be for rifle grenades. So to use this part, you actually have to cut a flat into the end of the barrel on the US version to install this piece. Alright, there's a brass deflector. Another, I believe this is the part the brass deflector sits on. Kind of like that. Okay, we have the barrel lock mechanism here. We have the safety. There's these two detents in here that allow it to be a 45-degree safety as opposed to the US 90-degree. We have one of the magazine release buttons. Here's another part that's different. This is a cross pin in the receiver that features a sling mount on the opposite side of it. That's not available in the US X95. We have our trigger linkages here. Now there's just a bunch of smaller parts in there, like the mag release, a couple pins and screws, the pistol grip screw, the opposite side brass deflector mount. This is the gas tube spacer. Now, if you've noticed my hand's getting progressively dirtier as I shoot this video and going over these parts, it's because this is the dirtiest parts kit I have ever seen in person. I mean, there were Russian parts kits and Hungarian and other countries of AKs coming in years ago, and they were filthy with cosmoline. This is just filthy with carbon. Now, we've got the next part here. Some of these parts kits came with the M21 optic. This is the magnifier mount / gas tube with the backup rear iron sight. And those two holes there would have had tritium tubes in them. And that just folds back down and clicks into place. Now, we have an M21 optic here. I was able to trade for this with another gentleman because originally this parts kit I got came in as a flat top. It had a rail. Well, I was interested in the optic version. Now, the ones that came in the parts kit, he had this one as a perfect example of this optic from one of his other firearms. The ones that came in the parts kit were very, very rough. The finish was pretty much worn off the top here. The tritium was dead in them, and they were just in about as rough shape as the parts kits are. Now, one more part before I get to the main reason that I bought this parts kit. This is the IWI X95 body marked here X95 MSW, Israeli Weapon Industries Limited, IWI. This is the original shell for the receiver. Has the R and the S marking for rapid and semi, I assume, at 45 degrees. Now, a little story before I get this next part out is when I first saw the X95 on the market and saw the photos of it in use, I fell in love with the round handguard, and when I bought my X95, they were like, well, we're going to bring those in. And over the years, that slowly turned into, well, there's no more available. They are not going to be able to be gotten. They've thrown them all away. The molds are destroyed. So I originally started learning CAD to design my own version of the round handguard just by going off of photos and playing around with Fusion 360. So this is just one of the very early ones that I had. However, now that I have the actual parts kit, I have the real deal round handguard for the X95. These are exceedingly rare in the US, and as I said, there's only about 20 parts kits available. This has the flip-up front sight. Just flips up and down. Has a top and a bottom rail, as you could see. And then this piece on the end, actually, well, just pops out of there. That's the rubber bushing for the barrel. And then you can pull the metal piece out. Now, originally my X95 was 9mm. When I found out I couldn't get the original handguard, I decided to sell it and then convert mine to 5.56. And then, of course, these come onto the market. I really liked the 9mm subgun version of the X95 that had a suppressor that went under the handguard. But with the unknown future of the 9mm X95s, well, I guess I'll keep this one as 5.56. So, guys, that was just a quick overview. And another thing is, I don't know why they have these reflective tape pieces on these guns. There was a piece on the body, and there was this piece on the handguard. I guess it's just maybe for quick identification. I have no idea. So, that was just a quick overview of the X95 parts kits that had shown up on Gunbroker. I thank you all for your time, for watching. And remember, if you're not out there having fun shooting, what are you doing?